Hi everyone, this is Dan from HeadMania, and today we're gonna do a mega review. First of all, in this video review, I am going to talk about all my findings about the main product, the Bowers & Wilkins P8, the wireless earbuds, but also about all of the others that I compared with. We have a lot of earbuds here, and you will have a lot more details with measurements and everything in the description, in the written review. There's a lot more there. I cannot cover everything here. You'll have all of the measurements, all of the ear tips that I use and everything else. So first of all, how did I get here? If you have seen my previous review, I was talking about the Bowers & Wilkins PX8 S2, the big wireless headphones, being big compared to this, still portable, right? So I enjoyed them so much that I was looking into the tech they have for the driver and everything else, and I noticed that they have a carbon driver, which I enjoyed a lot. You will you can read about it in the review about the PX8S2 headphones. And I noticed that the smaller version, the PI8, has a carbon driver as well. So because I liked it so much that I was, I started the review with the comparison of what we used to get in like 15, 17 years ago in the market in headphones in general. And now we have this wonderful, superb sound in wireless. I never thought about the possibility of having such amazing sound in portable wireless headphones without having a big system behind them, right? This is how I was thinking about, okay, the big ones, the still portable PX8 S2 sounds amazing, but how would this sound? They have the carbon drivers, the specific that I liked about them. So I said, okay, I want to try this as well. Curiosity piqued right there, right? And then, because I have some friends that also tried, good friend that started to test earbuds in this period of time, I basically ended up of trying many more earbuds, especially with the AirPods 3 release, the Pro 3 release, which I also got with the to see how what is the buzz about, and I've seen a lot of negative reviews about them on the internet, and I wanted to basically compare them with everything else. I also have the older Momentum 4 that I already have a review for them. But I also have the Violet Gemini 2, a wonderful headphone that another friend recommended, and they are very good and hyped around the place. And the famous Technics AZ-100. So as you can see here, I had a lot, right? A lot to test, and believe me, this review actually took weeks because I had to prepare a lot. I had to understand the sound for each. I had to tune it for some because out of the box it was not okay, right? I had to tune it from an EQ perspective. I had to measure them to see what I needed to EQ and how the EQ translate into the measurements. And I also tried like a lot of custom earbuds. So there's a box. This is those box full of not earbuds, ear tips. So I have the Fio tips HS20, the 18, this 19. I have the Final E type, Final Audio Type E. I have the ASLA Crystal, and I tried most of them until I found the tuning that I liked for each. And it makes a huge difference. And I'm going to talk about that in the review. So first of all, just to start with a few things about each headphone. And I'm going to focus on the PY8, is that a few things that I noticed. So first, I'm already mentioned with the PY8 that they have this driver, the carbon driver. It's also a 12 millimeter driver. The others are 10 millimeter. So it's the biggest driver out there. Indeed sounds big. But it's also amazingly fast, It's precise, and I love that about it. But another thing that I enjoyed about is that this case is not a usual case. And I noticed by playing with all of these headphones, earbuds from the iPhone, I noticed that uh, default Bluetooth codecs and the EAC is not doing them justice. I know what people are saying, that it doesn't matter. It does. From my experience, it does a lot. So it's not. It can scale much more than the iPhone can offer, and not only iPhone. Don't stop making fun of iPhones now, because you'll think that Samsung is better, but Samsung doesn't offer lossless either. So, and I have Samsung, so, and I thought it did. It doesn't. So, one thing to mention here is that these um, case, it's actually a deck that you can plug in anything with an USB-C in the laptop, in a PC, in the actual iPhone, and it will basically retransmit lossless with to the earbuds. So basically, it's gonna fix your problem, and you will carry your case with you. So that's an amazing feature they thought about, especially since this issue is quite annoying in not getting the most out of the headphones, especially when you know they're capable of more. And you will see in the written review all of the details with what the Bluetooth codecs, but the P8 PY8 is having Bluetooth 5.4, aptX lossless, adaptive, and everything else that doesn't matter. This if you have the first one, and I would say that if you don't want, or if a general solution for all of these earbuds was to actually get the Q style QC dongle Pro, which is actually certified for iPhone. I also tried a FIO BT11, but the problem with that is that it was good for the PC or Mac, but with the iPhone, you didn't control the volume. You either had zero or max. So that was not pleasant, first of all. And with this, you can control the volume whenever you want, however you want, and it will choose the best codec available for each of those. So and connect it to earphone and transmit to the best of capabilities of each earbud. So this is a general solution, but the Bowers and Wilkins P8 has this, like, the solution out of the box, or, well, in this case, within the box. So yeah, there you have it. And I would say that I was really impressed about with the sound from these headphones. I'm not going to get in all of details. You'll get tons of details on how I perceive the sound on many songs, and you have summaries for each category. But what I like about them is the speed, is the precision, the fact that it's so well, it's so precise that it's the music it's like a flow, right? It creates like a flow that basically you lose yourself into it. It's so fast that it's addictive, and the transients are amazing with a punchy attack, fast decay. It sounds overall quite natural if you look into the EQ settings that I asked, because I didn't like the tuning at all from the default tuning. And by the way, the application doesn't have only has 5 bands for the EQ, and I think Bowers should do better here. They should take a page from Technics, and it has 10, right? And also has the frequencies that they affect within each in the equalizer, right? In this case, they only have 5, and they don't say which frequencies they are actually changing when you use those bands. So what did I do to ease your life? In the written review, you'll find measurements for each band with -6, 0, and +6 dB while leaving the others to zero from each of the bands. So you will understand which frequencies will affect the band, so you can probably get something better based on your preferences, because you will know better which and what affects which band and what affects what frequency affects and how much, with the measurements there. So I hope that helps you a lot, because it took some while. But yeah, another thing that I noticed here is that these earbuds have, like, of course, all of them have the protective grill right over here, and also inside here you'll see the pictures in the review. It's also like a small band, silicone band in the center, and also inside you'll find a foam. So basically, there's a lot between the driver and your ears and the eardrum. So I think that's kind of weird, but I tried to get other ear tips without any filters, and in this case I didn't manage to make them sound as good. I prefer overall the stock ear tips, because uh, while getting better clarity and details with others, it switches it tilts the tonality towards upper mid-range and treble too much, and I cannot fix it through the given equalizer without losing what I liked about the sound. So um, uh, overall, what this is basically my go-to, and I would say that is my preferred out of the bunch. It wasn't an easy fight. There are others that are very good. I mean, it is a very strong fight between these two, the Technics AZ-100, and I'm actually going to keep them both. This is so good. They are so good, both of them, and different sounds, and I'm going to give them both, and I'm going to talk about why I love this so much. But in the meanwhile, I would say that this offers the most constant excitement in the sound, slam, tactility, deep layer stage, and this really case is amazing to have with you to fix anything, and with if you forget like this quest style, right? But this, by the way, a good tip is if you wanna don't lose it, just put it here. It's easier to carry around. Um, and it's an amazing overall experience, and it keeps some of the things that I loved about the bigger brother, the PX8 S2. So um, these are my top picks, but afterwards, our very close to it is the Technics AZ-100. I would say that what makes them tick here is amazing transparency, cleanliness of the sound, uh, very good in micro detail. It's one of the cleanest or purest sound that I've ever heard. This, while that has the carbon, this also has a special technology within the driver itself. It's a 10 millimeter dynamic with magnetic fluid, which apparently you can read more about it there in the written review. Uh, it's an aluminum diaphragm and magnetic fluid driver. These earbuds ensure ultra low distortion through precise stroke control. An ultra thin free edge and stands with magnetic fluid delivers rich bass, while the rigid aluminum diaphragm enables extended mid to high frequency playback for high resolution detail and clarity. At first, I thought it was just a brochure talk, right? And the sound definitely did not impress me out of the box. I was lucky with a friend of mine to explain what you have to do to get the most out of them. And after measurements, EQ tweaks, ear tip rolling, it clicked. The driver is indeed superbly clean. One of the most transparent low grain sounds that I've ever heard in general, right? Especially in earbuds. Um, Notes that start with precision, decay is quickly clean, and micro details come without any glare. It's an amazing experience with this, and I would definitely recommend them. But something to mention here. First of all, the tuning from the start, I mean, I don't know. They call it neutral. It's far away from neutral. It just sucks. Maybe it's just my preferences, but I did not get anything about. I mean, I was not impressed with the default tuning of the headphones. I had to go a lot into the bass and lower the bass by a lot. And some other things in the EQ, you'll find it in the written measurements, everything else there. But first of all, the ear tips. I mean, first of all, the tuning, right? I measured it, and we with the help of my friend as well, we managed to find a very good tuning for this that sounds neutral, much more so than the original tuning, and it is an amazing upgrade from the initial sound, right? Then the ear tips, the original ear tips, have a lot of, obstructions in the way as well as the PI8. There's some foam, there's some silicone bands there, and takes away a lot from transparency. So I would say that I did find some ear tips here which did not influence the sound as much as the others, because it doesn't have this the same peaks, peaks here, but as the PI8 that basically has a peak somewhere in the upper mid-range. If you remove the foam there, or you switch to another ear tip that doesn't have foam, it's, as I mentioned, it's hard to control from EQ to fix the tonality as much as I like. This was not an issue here. You get much better sound, much better clarity, and the EQ having more bands, you can adjust it to get a better sound. And the fact that it doesn't have peaks, it makes it better for you and easier for you to get the sounds. And I got it. So this is how I managed to get this wonderful sound out of this. So one thing to note here is that they don't have as much volume as the PI8. It's on some classical music, on the lower passages, I was maxing out the volume. In time, probably you'll get used to it in time, and I actually got used to it in time, and 80% was or 80% was enough. The ears also accommodate, especially with that level of micro detail and cleanness and transparency. You will find that you don't need a lot in the volume section. But to some, it might be a problem in terms it doesn't have the same volume possibilities of the PI8 or even the others on this list. So there's that. I would say that these two are amazing, and I'm gonna keep them both. And another very good find here was the Deviant Gemini 2. This was a recommendation from one of my good friends as well. What can I say here? First of all, the tuning from the stock tuning is a bit, is a bit better than the others. PI8 is also has a very bad tuning from the start, or not very bad. It's not that great. I had to change, and by the way, you can see the tuning for the PI8 as well in the written review. The fact is that these headphones are titanium. It's a special titanium coated dynamic driver, and it does sound great even out of the box. I still had to tune it, but it doesn't sound as bad. I mean, at least they're very fun from box. It has like a monstrous bass, which is not a bad bass. I mean, it's a monstrous bass that keeps some technicalities. It's still too much. It is fun, but not for too long, because for me at least, it gets very tiresome fast. But I managed to get that tuned, and they have a lot of bass there, and you can basically go a lot in the bass and sub bass in the EQ without losing a lot of quality. And you will find my tuning that I liked also using measurements, and you will see how the measurements of the EQ tuning affects in the measurement, and how I got a more linear response there. But it's a very fun experience. From another thing here is that these also have a foam, but within the actual canal of the earbuds, and then the protection grill underneath is the black thing here. You can find it in the pictures, but I try to remove it from this as well. It's independent from the ear tips, but it becomes way too sibilant, and so this is a filter that needs to stay here for the sake of my ears. With that filter, it sounds great, but the stock ear tips were not great for me. The Aslea Crystal was the best match that from all of those that I mentioned above. And In this case, it really opened up the sound. It really made it more fun. The bass hits harder. The voices are more natural. Everything clicks in better together than with the stock ear tips, and I recommend the Aslea ear tips for this. Um, Keep in mind that this can be a subjective. My ear canal will be different from yours. How I perceive the sound is different from yours. So I'm trying to be objective with the objective measurements as much as I can, by the way, because they're done with mini DSP ears, which have some issues, and it's not the most it's not the most, it's not certified, so you will not get the most precise measurements there. It also has some problems with some, for example, with Deviant LED and with the AZ-100. It has some resonance between 1 and 2 kilohertz, and it showed a peak, and it's not. It's just a problem with the how the mini DSP ear canal is built, and this driver basically probably was too close to the microphone, so that's why. But still, it was the measurements was useful to get the differences and adjust and make the necessary tweaking. Still, with the Aslea, I love the headphones, and I managed to get something in between these two. So from this perspective, these are an interesting match in between the PI8 and the AZ-100. I mean, let's recapitulate. These are amazing with strong attack. The bass is really punchy. Everything is amazingly tactile and very fast. It's so fast. It kind of creates like a flow experience. It's musical flow. It takes you and just drives you within the music. These are incredibly transparent, detailed, the most pure sound that I ever heard. It still has good tactile sound. He still has punchy sound, just is not on the same level with this. I still think that these have a wider soundstage, a bigger soundstage, which deeper and taller. This is more in the wide section, not as holographic as this one, and this is in between. I would say I feel that the soundstage is good, but it's not as well layered. For example, like PI8, more things are on the same layer, but still not bad. Um, in this case, you get wonderful transparency and pure sound. You get some of the tactility and attack dynamics from the PI8. So it's a very good combination between those two. The problem is that with this, it doesn't support all of the latest technology in terms of transmission. It only has Bluetooth 5.2. It only has aptX. It only has AAC and SBC. So basically, you won't get lossless or very high rate streaming with this. So it feels there. This is where it loses when it compared to the other two. They're not as precise or detailed overall. Even if it's a very good combination, I think the drivers are capable of more. I hope that in the future, Gemini 3 will offer better codecs and wireless experience in general, because they have amazing potential, and I think it can close up the gap and make it a very good combination in general with us. Um, so it is close with the other two, but I would say it's in the next level. However, it's from a perspective of noise canceling, it's second tier to these AirPods. Then let's talk a bit about momentum force. The momentum force are a bit older, but and I like them a lot. You'll have my review. I already written about them. I mean, these are great. I found that they're not necessarily on the same level with this. It's still overall, you will see that it goes for a lower price these days. Beware that apparently there's a lot of fakes out there. So when you buy one of these, make sure it's from a trustworthy seller in general. So don't buy it from whatever random thing just because it's cheap, because there are a lot of fakes out there. So the Momentum 4s, I would say that have a natural comfy tuning, um, and they're good for long listening sessions. They sound very natural. This is what I like about them, but it does not match the transparency, details, and precision of the others. So there's that. Also, um, I would say that um, these Momentums are, again, very good value for the price. Um, they still sound mm, good. They are quite euphonic, but just not in the same category with these two or this Deviant LED. So let's go to um, the iPods 3. So there's a lot of discussions on the internet here about this, and I still love them. Right? It's not my first pick. It's still kind of a battle between these two, if you ask me, because it has some upper mid-range presence that this does not have, and it's hard to get it through with the equalizer. Though, by the way, the app from this does a good job in general, even from the sound personalization wizard. But these are have a overall good soundstage, decent details, and overall decent sound. However, there are some situations where I feel that there's a tonality flipped towards the upper mid-range and treble, and some things that do not sound as natural. So even sometimes, while the instruments, the plucks, or the violins are a bit shouty, not don't present a lot of detail like the others in the body of the instrument to understand the how the instrument what is the instrument built, the material that the instrument is built of, or the lower part of the string and everything, and the vibration there, the energy, it just overshouted because of the other parts of the spectrum. So that's the problem with these ones, I would say. Maybe with a firmware update you will get more of that, but however, the bass, for example, it's I enjoy the bass much more than with the Sennheiser Momentum 4s, because I feel that it has a bit more detail, it goes a bit more deeper, but with more detail and punch. So that's that. So I think that they have a lot of they have some potential here, right? But from the sound perspective, this is a battle between these two, and depending on the preferences of tonality, the tonality I like more on this one, on the Sennheisers. One thing to mention here is that still I enjoy them a lot because I did not necessarily buy them from listening to music. They're still great for movies and stuff like that, but I use them a lot with conversations, meetings, um, audiobooks, podcasts, and everything else. So besides that, they have very good microphones. They have um, they have very good features like automatic transparency when you talk. So that's really works really well, and the transparency level is amazing. You don't have um, a lot of delay added when you hear stuff from outside. It's like basically listening through your ear without having anything plugged in it. So that's an amazing performance. And also the fact that the ANC, the noise canceling, is amazing. It's like Lina said, it's an effect like you see in the movies when they go into space with dead silence, having whoop. It's something like that. It really does a great job there. It's just for that feature alone, and the fact that they're very comfy. I'm gonna use them a lot for daily usage, whatever I need in the scenarios that I talked at the beginning. So, oh, by the way, these ear tips are really comfortable. Uh, it's hybrid foam and silicone. It didn't. If you touch them, it feels more like silicone. It's amazing what they did here. They fit really well. Another feature that I liked about them is the fact that I use a lot of audiobooks and podcasts, and because they have heart rate sensors, they know when you fall asleep. That's amazing because they can pause or they can stop the stream when you fall asleep. So that is a very important feature for me. So that's it. So not my first tip, my first pick in terms of sound, but there it is. They have another other. They had a lot of other interesting, wonderful features. So let's recapitulate. The PI8, if you want the most consistent excitement with slam, tactility, deep layer stage, with wonderful speed that translates into a wonderful musical flow. The relay case is also amazing to fix the problems with streaming on high quality lossless. The AZ-100, if you want transparency, pure, clean sound, one of the best I've ever heard, if not the best in earbuds. Even if it's PI8, don't get me wrong, it's very clean as well, but this is still the purest sound I've ever heard. Also, amazing micro detail here, without fatigue, natural sound as well. The Gemini 2, if you want big slam, air sparkle, and you don't care about older Bluetooth and codec support. I mean, you do have a very good combination between those two features: the tactility, slam decay, and then the dynamics of the AZ-100, the PI8, and also some of the transparency from the AZ-100. So if you don't plan to carry this with you, it doesn't matter for you, so it's still a good choice. The Momentum 4, if you want natural, comfy tuning and a strong value for the price, just watch out for fakes. And the AirPods Pro 3 is if you want it for the features that I mentioned, and also decent sound quality in general. The final words in sound quality: my heart says PI8, my head often says AZ-100, and my fun side nods to Gemini 2. The gaps are small at the top, so choose what you value most. Feel from the PI8, clarity from the AZ-100, or slam from the Gemini 2. So I hope this review was helpful for you. It took a while for me to put everything together, especially for the written review on all of the tests and all of the tweaks and all of the measurements and all of the EQing around and all of these ear tips and everything else. So please hit like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this. See you in the next one.